was made to keep intruders out of the capital, Seoul. It was built in 1396 when Joseon, the former kingdom of Seoul, was founded. However, the gate we see today didn't always look like this. In fact, it was rebuilt several times, and when it was rebuilt by a different king, it adopted the era style of craft, as we can see on the information board. Another interesting trait the gate has is the wall surrounding it on both sides. This wall is the wall that surrounds and protects the capital. You may think of the castle walls of Europe, such as Mont Blanc, but this wall of Seoul is far longer and less artistic. On the topic of walls, let's talk about the semicircle-shaped wall that is attached to the gate. It was there to keep scouting guards safe from enemy projectiles. The reason it suffered from so many attacks was because of its terrain. You see, Seoul is protected and surrounded by mountains on three sides, with high terrain that is hard to scale. However, the easy side is the east side, with a relatively low terrain, as you can see on the pictures on screen. And because of this reason, enemies targeted this area. Now let's take a look at the decorations on the gate, such as the statues of characters on top of the roofs, and the special paint Koreans use to decorate special gates or buildings. Character statues on the roof types of the gate are mythical characters from Chinese folklore.
The place where I'm going to introduce to you is a gate called 흥인지문, also called as Dongdaemun. It was built as one of the 8 gates in the wall to protect the government offices with important national facilities in the capital, today's Seoul. It was built in 1396 during Korea's last dynasty, Joseon, but the gate we can see today was rebuilt in 1869, also in Joseon. When you look around the gate, you can see a semicircle shaped wall. At the top of the wall, there is a place where people can stand. The wall was used when a war broke out, as a defense and as an offense. It was the last shield until the enemies reached the capital. Also, enemies were driven in the wall and soldiers attacked by shooting arrows at the place on the wall. The space on the wall is the characteristic of this gate. It is nowhere but only at this gate. This gate seems to be used effectively during war, but this gate has a sad and also humiliating story during Japanese invasion of 1592. Right before Japan invaded Joseon, Japan was unified one country from divided several countries. So, the person who united Japan waged wars to reduce the threat by diverting internal forces outward, and the target was Joseon, Korea's last dynasty. There were no proper military institutions and systems in Joseon because of the 200 years of peace. And if Japan had won the war, they could have used Korean territory and it would have built the bridge to the continent, which was desperate for Japan. Finally, in 1592, exactly 200 years after Joseon was established, Japanese invaded Joseon. As Japan expected, Joseon suffered horribly by the Japanese, and the capital was occupied in only 20 days. The king ran away to the northern part of the territory, and it is said that the palaces were burned down by the people who was angry at the king who escaped. But with the activities of the naval force, crown prince and volunteers, and the support of the Ming China dynasty, the war ended in 1594. In 1597, and because of the death of the Japanese monarch who united Japan, the war ended completely at 1598 without any winner or loser. When Japan occupied the capital of Joseon, Heunginjimun was the first gate that was occupied. This is the sad and kind of humiliating story I said before. Every building has its story, and it is my duty to explain each hidden story. I hope the COVID-19 situation calms down so we can meet each other by face to face.